When a relationship ends between two people, you part ways. And that also means that you are both going to be at different levels in your processing of the grief, of the death of what once was, and all of that. And even months or years later, there can be certain triggers that pop up and you're like, whoa, I thought I dealt with that shit. Do not go back into the story that you want them or miss them or can't make it without that other person. Oftentimes what those triggers are trying to show you is that there's something unresolved within you that you need to address. And for me, watching my ex thrive, it's a beautiful thing, but it's really triggering for me because I walked away with literally having to start over after 12 years of starting over, of wondering if I'm going to be able to keep a roof over my head with my boys and not being able to just go out and play in our backyard like we used to, and wondering if I'm going to be able to feed them and survive. But the thing is, I've never been more rich spiritually and emotionally and feeling free. So as much as I miss the security and the stability and the toys and the cush life, I wouldn't trade any of it for where I am right now. So if you yourself are in a position where you are thinking of leaving your partner, or you're, in the thralls of it and processing the grief, or whatever the case may be, just know that there is a light on the other side. And you're doing this, you made this choice for you, for your peace, for your well-being. And that, in and of itself, is worth its weight in gold.
Okay, so here we have a woman who is seriously coping with the fact that she divorced her husband, and her husband went out there and became successful, right? Got rich, became a self-made millionaire, and is no longer married to her, while she became a single mom, broke, destitute, living in a tiny studio apartment with these kids, right? While her husband is living it up in his mansion, driving his Lamborghini. And it just reminds me of why, I mean, these women, you have to be able to spot value when you see it, right? You have to be able to respect a guy who can accomplish something like that, because not many men can. Right? Not many men can. This is why even when I'm dating somebody and they don't appreciate the fact of where I've been, what I've gone through to get to where I am, I can't date that person seriously. I can't take them seriously, because I want to be with a woman who, appreciates the value that I bring to the table. Because again, not everybody is going to be coming along and picking you up in a Lamborghini, right? Not everybody can pull that off. Right, but very few men can, but it's usually the men who've really taken financial risk and have really showed their muscle out there, their financial muscle, their spiritual muscle, their risk-taking ability, their cleverness, their ability to be strategic in life, to become one of these few guys, right? These top-tier guys, high-value guys, whatever you want to call them. Right, but too many of these chicks out there don't appreciate that, right? And she's one of them. And now look, she's a single mom, and here she is talking about, I'm just so happy inside. Well, if you're really that happy, why are you crying? Why are you crying about this on your social media, right? If you're really that happy, you would not be on your, TikTok here crying about how he's rich and you're broke, would you? No. I really believe just too many of these women make really bad decisions in life, right? Because they lead with their emotions. They're not they're detached from reality, which causes you to make bad decisions, right? This is why you should never vote with your emotions, because look at the state we're in now in this country, right? Always vote with common sense, right? Use common sense. And unfortunately, you know, I mean, these women put themselves in a bad place, right? Yeah, I mean, my own ex, right? My own ex from '06, because this actually relates to the story. She did the same thing, right? One of my most popular videos, actually, where I covered that. And I talked about how she became a single mom. I became a self-made millionaire. She is now struggling because she has 2 kids from 2 different dads. She's struggling financially. She had to move away from the Bay Area because she was living out in Belmont, California, which is right next to Redwood City, California. And Belmont has become, like, that area is becoming more expensive than like San Francisco, oddly enough, right? It's become very expensive. And I know, like, she used to tell me point blank back while we were dating that, you know, because I was getting ready to move to LA, and that kind of also broke us apart because I wanted to move to LA. I wanted to pursue, you know, like my business, acting, and all this other stuff. I wanted to go for it, and she did not want to leave Belmont. She was like, I love Belmont. This is my home. I grew up here. I never want to leave here. And fast forward, you know, 15, how long has that been now? Like 18 years now. Fast forward 18 years later, she's had to leave. Why? Because it got too expensive. She could no longer afford it, right? Could no longer afford it, especially with 2 kids, right? And she had to move, I'm not even kidding, like almost 100 miles away, like in the middle of nowhere, in the freaking boonies with these kids, which I know she hates. I mean, she would have, imagine, she would have jumped at the chance to live in LA with me now, because she does not like being that far away from the city. But she had to move all the way out, like almost 100 miles away in the middle of nowhere, to just be able to stay in California, right? Which I'm guessing eventually she'll have to leave because she doesn't have the, you know, the money to stay here. You have to have money to stay in California. Yeah, our policies are screwed up, our taxes suck. And it's happened to a lot of my friends, right, where they've had to leave the state, even some relatives, right? But I've been able to stay. I've been able to stay in San Francisco and Los Angeles, right? Because I can afford it. I can afford to stay here because I've done well for myself. And if, you know, I mean, you know, and she knows that, you know, she'd stayed with the kid, and then obviously that would have been reality. But yeah. But then again, I don't know if I would have taken this path. I mean, it's, you know, life's funny, right? Life's funny. I mean, it just leads you in the right direction. And I'm so happy these days, you know, to be where I am. And she's not the only girlfriend I've had, like, in the past that's probably crying about the fact that I became successful. Like I've told you guys, you know, as much as your ex will tell you, I love you, always love you, I just want the best for you, and I hope you're happy out there, while I go monkey branch to this other guy. They will not be happy if you become successful. They will, like this chick, they will be crying about it. Oh my God, I can't believe it. While he's rich, I'm so poor here. I'm just trying to get by. Well, you did that to yourself, right? Because when you have a high value man, you have to appreciate him, right? And that's the thing I love about my relationship right now with my chick is, you know, she appreciates me, you know, and she respects the fact that I busted my ass to get to where I am, and she knows that I did, and she knows that if she ever screws up, it's gonna be hard to find a replacement, right? She's gonna have to really drop her standards. So the best success, I mean, the best revenge that you can get on anybody, whether it's an, you know, ex-partner or, you know, friends who didn't believe in you, or even family, is to become successful. Next clip.
He made me feel like I was a burden, that I was too much for things that I could not control, for just being human, that my very basic requirements for existence were just too hard. This poor excuse for a man had me thinking that I was broken and wrong to my very core, that I was not capable of even the smallest of tasks, that the very essence of me was muddied and shattered. And the saddest part is, I believed him. He took the trust I had in him and used it against me. He tried to break me by projecting his deepest fears of himself upon me. But I broke free. Yes, I am deeply flawed and complex, but just like every other human being. And there is nothing wrong with me. I am whole and I am enough, just as I stand.
I would really like to hear what her ex has to say about her. I would really like to hear his side of the story, rather than just hear her yap and yap and yap on her TikTok about, he told me I was broken and I'm not. I'm a whole person and I'm enough and I'm great and I'm perfect. Right? Do you care to back that up with some facts? Do you care to back that up with, something, right? You can't just sit out there and say, like, yeah, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Okay, why are you awesome? What makes you awesome? What did you do for him? Expand on this. But sounds like she just came out of a therapy session, because this is the kind of talk that you get when you swipe your credit card, and the therapist will tell you whatever you want to hear, right? Whatever makes you feel good, so that you come back and you swipe that credit card again, right? That's all they want to hear. I mean, therapists to me are a joke, and the fact that 99% of them are women just tells me that you should probably take their advice with a grain of salt, because they're probably blowing a whole lot of sunshine up your ass, and they're not being completely honest with you, right? Because somebody who is actually qualified would hold your feet to the fire and go, okay, well, what part did you play in this, right? Somebody that would have your best interests in mind would hold your feet to the fire and say, hey, what do you think led up to this? Is there anything that you could have done differently? Okay, yeah, you could blame him all day, but let's talk about you. What could you have done? Because I want you to get better, right? But these therapists are not idiots, right? They know that women do not want to hear reality. They do not want to hear the truth, because the second you tell them the truth, they will flip out on you and stop coming and stop swiping their credit card. They will leave you negative Yelp reviews. They can't do it. They won't stay in business, right? So you have to lie to these women. You have to give them these affirmations and self-love, and you have to use certain verbiage, and you have to, tell them what their love language is and all this other malarkey in order to get them to come back and swipe the credit card, right? Okay, next clip.
Why are the most loyal and boyfriend material guys single? This is what I constantly hear from other girls, and I have the answer. I think it all stems that women are programmed to see the ideal man as weak, beta, or sus. And that is why they always fall for the guy that cold approaches them and uses some cheesy, corny pickup line. But then they're surprised when 3 months later they got cheated on. I really think we need to stop romanticizing players and romanticize guys that are nervous to talk to women. Hear me out. I'm talking about the guys who overthink and do not want to cold approach a girl because they do not want to come across as a creep. And girls just don't get it. They're always like, shoot your shot. The worst she can say is no. No, ladies, that is not the worst she can say. Trust me. You see, most guys can easily hold a conversation, but they're afraid to start it. It should be seen as cute or endearing when a guy is nervous to talk to you. He's fidgeting. He's not making direct eye contact all the time, or maybe stepping back and giving you space. Oh, and side note, you're not going to find these guys at the clubs or parties. They're at home.
And notice now only that this chick is entering her 40s here. Is she looking for this type of ideal guy that she herself said women look at as weak and beta, which is 100% true, right? They're looking for the ideal guy, the good guy, the nice guy, the guy who brings you the flowers, the guy who opens your car door, the guy who pays, picks up the dinner check. Where is that guy? Yeah, you're looking for him now because you can no longer get the bad guy that you're talking about that approaches you with the cheesy pickup lines, which, FYI, they will dump you. I mean, they will jump on that guy in a heartbeat when he comes around, Mr. Ideal Man. So, Mr. Ideal Man, your status is temporary until the next Chad comes along. Even for these chicks, right? Your status is temporary. Very few of them will pass that up. Very few of them will pass up the 6-foot Chad at their work that is just want to get in their pants, because they have the ideal man, you, sitting at home, cooking them dinner. No, I mean, these type of chicks what if I keep telling you guys, man, she's 45 and single for a reason, okay? She's 45 and single for a reason, just like all of these girls we cover. They're still single for a reason, fellas. And the reason is because they can't get enough of these bad dudes, right? They can't get enough of these, you know, being treated poorly by these bad men, these like really hot, good-looking men who treat them bad and never do any of these things. But she expects you, Mr. Nice Guy, to do all these things. That's why we call him the DG on this channel. Okay, just remember that. Just remember that, right? They're damaged for a reason. They're single for a reason. It's because they're DG. Okay? Hate to say it. Like 99.9% of the time, they're DG. Is there that one instance where she's single for whatever reason, she was taking care of her mom or a handicapped family member, or she was just a nerd and super nervous and just socially awkward, and she never dated anybody, and now she woke up and she's 45 and still single? Yeah, of course. It's like it's like a lottery ticket, but yeah, of course, right? Sure. But we're not talking about, you know, the exception to the rule. We're talking about the rule. And for most of these chicks, the rule is like 99.9% of them are out there for a reason. And the reason is they could not keep their legs closed for the bad men of the world. And they just kept going back out there, kept banging these dudes, crossing their finger that one of them will settle down, you know. And even if any of them did, even if any of these chads did, like in their 20s, say they like married him, put a ring on the finger, these chicks would not be able to function in that relationship because they would constantly need that dopamine rush of their bad behavior or their cheating or their lying in order to keep them, you know, mentally stimulated to stay in the relationship, in order to keep having fun, you know, to keep them on that emotional roller coaster. That's why I call them damage, right? That's not how a healthy person, you know, that's not what a healthy person looks for in a relationship, right? A healthy person wants somebody who comes home. A healthy person wants somebody who's going to build something with them. A healthy person wants, you know, peace in their relationship. But a dysfunctional person, a damaged person, a damaged woman wants that constant high, right? That constant roller coaster of emotions and crying and, oh my gosh, you know, now he lied about this, oh my gosh, oh, now I found his phone and all the text messages to this other woman, oh my gosh, this is the last time, never taking him back again. Okay, one more chance. Okay, but after this, no more. You know, they want that. They love that, right? And Mr. Nice Guy, like she's talking about, the ideal man that is going to stick around, that dude's going to bore her, right? She's going to be bored to death. She's going to be twiddling her thumbs, just, you know, like almost like a crack addict shaking, waiting for the next Chad to come along to mistreat her, right? Sad, but that's why they're damaged. As always, gentlemen, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you there in my comments.
So until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets, signing out here with the Lamborghini. Such a beautiful car. Just got this car, and we're going to be featuring it here on the channel for many months and many years to come. So get used to it. And yes, I still have the DeLorean. DeLorean is not going anywhere. But we are going to enjoy this car for many years to come while we have it here on the channel. Just picked this car up, had it delivered basically a week ago. The same guy who delivered my DeLorean, TJ, at Florida Exotic Transport, he also delivered the Lamborghini for me. You can also follow me on IG at MadCrossOfficial if you want to see the entire process of me purchasing this car. I'll probably do a full review on my Alpha channel, which should be fun. I'll have that up momentarily if it's not up already. This car is just amazing, right? I was on the hunt for this car for over 2 years, and then finally when it popped up, it took me over 2.5 months to close this deal and get this car at the right price where I felt comfortable, they felt comfortable letting it go. This is in Rosa Festo Red. This car is finished in Rosa Festo Red, which is one of the rarest colors for Lamborghini. It's a $14,880 option. Gorgeous, looks really good. But going to be featuring it in a lot more coaching videos here on the channel, so I'm very excited about it, as you can see. as you can see. But as always, gentlemen, don't forget to smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell as well, so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, please, right? Helps me out a ton when you guys actually subscribe and you don't just take off on me, right? So make sure you're subscribed to the 33 Secrets as well. This is in the right color too, right? This is basically the color of the 33 Secrets right here, right? I should put a big 33 logo right on the hood. Right? Just piss off all the modern women out there. In any case, for you guys who want to support my work and everything I'm teaching you here, all of this red pill, gold pill, platinum pill content that I've been teaching you for years and years, if I've added value to your life, if you love what I do here, the best way to support me is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students all around the world now are out there approaching and closing every single week. And I kid you not, we are making it happen every single week. I want you to join us. I want you to become one of us, right? We should all be driving Lamborghinis. In any case, that's the best way to support my work, guys. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. I'm out. Man, this car is gorgeous, isn't it? Look at that. Woo! Oh, goodness gracious. What a ride.